In other stories, human rights activists have given the Ugandan government 24 hours to release two Kenyan political detainees, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo.
Speaking outside the Ugandan embassy in Nairobi, where they had marched to demand answers on the whereabouts of the two, the activists urged East African heads of state to address the alarming abductions trend in the region.
Catherine Imuraget with more.
On Thursday afternoon, a handful of activists gathered along the Aga Khan Walk area in Nairobi CBD and marched to the Ugandan embassy to push for the release of two Kenyan political detainees, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo. The activists are now calling on East African heads of state to address the alarming abduction trend in the region and allow for freedom of speech.
No one has ever said that Nicholas and Bob were abducted by the Ugandan police. We have been consistent saying that Nicholas and Bob were abducted by the Ugandan military.
They demand immediate release of Njagi and Oyoo and immediate investigations leading to the abduction.
And I want to say this to the Ugandan government, that we have to give you 24 hours, under which we want to see Oyoo and Bob Njagi, whether life or death, here in Kenya. Yes. And we are very much aware of the theatrics used by the Ugandan government to silence their critics under the NUP party.
When we say that we need our comrades back, yes, we are serious. Yes.
They say abductions have been recurring, especially on the people fighting for the rights, and their voices are just silenced.
We remind President Yoweri Museveni and his regime, the era of fear is over. Sure. You cannot abduct solidarity. You cannot silence ideas. And you cannot arrest the determination of a generation rising for freedom.
We say clearly, stop abducting Kenyans, stop abducting Africans. Sure. Stop persecuting Africans who stand with progressive struggles like that of Bobi Wine and the people of Uganda.
Oyoo and Njagi were abducted on October 1st in Uganda by 4 armed men believed to be security officials. The two, who had joined National Unity Platform presidential candidate Bobi Wine's campaign trail on Tuesday, were reportedly forced into a vehicle and their phones switched off. The incidents come just 4 months after Kenyan activists Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan activist Agatha Atuhaire were arrested in Tanzania and later dumped near their country's borders. Both would later claim they were sexually assaulted by Tanzanian authorities. 9 days after the abduction, the Kenyan government remains quiet about the matter. Although Deputy President Kithure Kindiki this morning left for Uganda to represent Kenya during the 63rd Independence Day celebrations. Catherine Imuraget, KTN.
To education.